This is the story of Jeffrey Dahmer, a name I didn't fully understand until I started searching for the truth myself. The deeper I looked, the darker it became. What I found wasn't just a criminal case. It was a quiet life hiding a terrifying secret. A man who walked through crowds unnoticed, spoke softly, smiled politely, while carrying a darkness no one around him could see. This is Jeffrey Dahmer as I uncovered him, not through rumors, not through dramatized shows, but through the chilling facts that reveal who he really was. A lonely boy, a broken home, a mind that slowly crumbled behind a calm, empty stare, and an apartment that would become one of the most haunting crime scenes in American history. This is where the story begins. Jeffrey Lionel Dahmer was born on May 21, 1960, in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. From the outside, his early life looked normal. A middle-class American family, a comfortable home, and two parents who wanted to succeed. But inside the house, the atmosphere was far from peaceful. His father, Lionel, was often absent, working long hours. His mother, Joyce, struggled with severe anxiety and depression. Their marriage was unstable, filled with arguments, tension, and emotional distance. As a child, Jeffrey watched the collapse of his family from the sidelines, quietly absorbing every fight and every moment of chaos. Jeffrey was not a loud or troublesome kid. In fact, he was unusually quiet, shy, withdrawn, and uncomfortable around others. Teachers described him as polite but disconnected. He rarely spoke unless spoken to, and when he did, his words were soft, almost hesitant. By age 4, Dahmer became fascinated with bones and dead animals he found near the woods by his house. His father once showed him how to safely clean animal bones for a school project, but Jeffrey's interest grew far beyond curiosity. He loved the sound the bones made, the way they fit together, and the idea that something once alive was now silent and still. No one understood how important this fascination would become later. As Jeffrey entered his teenage years, he felt more isolated than ever. He had no close friends, no stable emotional connection, and no one to talk to about the troubling thoughts forming in his mind. His parents' marriage finally collapsed when he was 18. The divorce left Jeffrey completely alone in the house for months, a turning point that would change his life forever. In 1978, just after high school graduation, Dahmer committed his first murder. What is important to understand is this: Dahmer wasn't driven by anger or sudden violence. He was driven by loneliness, control, and the belief that if he could keep someone with him, they would never leave. This mindset would define all his later crimes. Over the next several years, Dahmer lived a double life. By day, he tried to appear normal, working various jobs, talking politely, even making jokes. He blended in so well that people rarely suspected him of anything. To neighbors, he was quiet and odd, but never threatening. But behind closed doors, his mind spiraled deeper into darkness. In 1988, Dahmer moved into the Oxford Apartments on North 25th Street in Milwaukee. Apartment 213, the place that would become infamous. At first, neighbors simply complained about strange smells coming from his room or noises in the night. When the building's manager asked him about it, Dahmer always provided a calm explanation. Spoiled meat, fish gone bad, a broken freezer. His soft voice and polite attitude made people believe him. Throughout these years, Dahmer struggled with alcoholism, depression, and an increasing inability to control his urges. He didn't seek help. He didn't try to change. Instead, he isolated himself even more, living in a world entirely inside his own head. By 1991, the situation had escalated to the point where Dahmer was barely functioning in society. Yet he still managed to fool almost everyone around him. He appeared harmless, shy, quiet, even vulnerable. Everything changed on July 22, 1991. On that night, one of Dahmer's intended victims managed to escape the apartment. Barefoot, terrified, and handcuffed, he stopped a police car and begged for help. When police officers arrived at Dahmer's apartment to investigate, they expected a misunderstanding. Dahmer was calm as always, speaking softly, trying to explain everything away. But when police opened a drawer in his room, they found photographs that revealed the truth, evidence of crimes Dahmer had carefully hidden for years. The officers immediately arrested him. Inside the apartment, investigators discovered what would become one of the darkest crime scenes in American history. Not in gory detail, but in the sheer scale of deception, planning, and psychological collapse. The nation was stunned. During interviews, Dahmer spoke openly about his actions, admitting he felt an overwhelming fear of abandonment. He said he didn't want people to leave him and believed that controlling them completely was the only way to avoid being alone. His answers were emotionless, almost clinical, as if he were describing someone else. For psychologists, the case became one of the clearest examples of what can happen when trauma, loneliness, and untreated mental disorders collide in a dangerous way. Dahmer was sentenced to 16 life terms in prison. Even there, he remained calm and eerily polite until November 28, 1994, when another inmate attacked and killed him. The case of Jeffrey Dahmer remains one of the most disturbing in modern history, not because of the violence alone, but because of the shocking contrast between the quiet, polite man people thought they knew and the dark, hidden world inside his mind.
Thank you for watching. Please click like and subscribe if you didn't already. See you next video.